What's good? It's your boy Jay. That's me. Let's dive into Impact Wrestling for September the 14th, 2023, which was the 1000th episode of Impact Wrestling. Great. So Impact Wrestling celebrates 1,000 episodes. That's cool. That's excellent. I love that. I love it. But we're not focusing on Bound for Glory right now, which is not good. Bound for Glory is a month away. We need to build some matches. So far, they're only building towards one match, it seems, and that is Josh Alexander versus Alex Shelley for the Impact Wrestling World Championship, which is good, but we need more than that. You only have a month to build for Bound for Glory. You have 1 month. You won't have a lot of time. Not a lot of time at all. The episode itself, the show itself was good. I enjoyed it. But Impact Wrestling constantly relies too much on the past and nostalgia, and it's not good. It's not good at all. The company just does not want to move forward, and that is not a good look, and that's the one major issue that I have with Impact. Impact has got to continue pushing forward and moving forward. That's the problem. So, we're going to go ahead and get into the review, but overall, the show itself was okay. It was a little bit too much nostalgia for my liking. So, we kicked the show off with a video package showing us big moments throughout the history of Impact. Clips included AJ Styles, Gail Kim, Kurt Angle, Dixie Carter, Ric Flair, Hulk Hogan, Rhino, Sting, America's Most Wanted, MVP and the Wolves, Eli Drake, and it ended with current stars. And then we got a new opening montage, which was great. So I did enjoy that. It only lasted about 15 to 20 seconds, but good stuff nonetheless. I like it. So we officially kicked the show off with Scott D'Amore. So he was in the ring. He welcomed us to Impact 1000. The fans were enthusiastic. So Scott noted that the first episode featured him and Team Canada in the first match. He said that he was proud of Impact Wrestling, and the next 2 weeks would be a celebration of the past, present, and future. Scott D'Amore said, "You can't talk about Impact Wrestling without the Knockouts division and its most influential member, Gail Kim." So she comes out. So Gail thanked Impact Wrestling and the fans for making the Knockouts division a difference maker. Then she showed us a video package of the greatest Knockouts moments. And then the Beautiful People came out, which is Angelina Love and Velvet Sky. So that was great. They did their entrance. Also, Velvet Sky is no longer with NWA. She's back with Impact. I don't know what she's going to be doing, but I'm glad she's back. She might do a commentary for Impact. Who knows? I don't know. So there was a welcome back chant that broke out. So Angelina said it was great to see Gail. She questioned the video featured the best Knockouts division because it featured a bunch of ugly people like Gail in front of them. Velvet said the rest of the Knockouts looked like security footage from Walmart, which was funny. Before pictures from a dermatologist's office. Gail said they were doing what they do best, being rude and obnoxious. Velvet said Gail was a before, and Angelina said Gail even talks. Which they wish she wouldn't. So Gail said she could do more than talk, and then she began to confront Angelina. Then out comes Giselle Shaw and company, who talked trash about the Beautiful People and Gail Kim. Then out comes Jordan Grace. She does the same thing, but she talks trash about the heels. And she mentions ODB, Tracy Brooks, Tara, aka Victoria, and Gail Kim. Jordan Grace said that every generation has annoying bitches. And then Deanna Purrazzo came out. So Jordan Grace asked if Deanna was there to represent the annoying bitches. Deanna said she was there to represent her generation. She talked about beating Jordan Grace for the Knockouts title. Outcomes Trinity, who said all the wrestlers paved the way for her, but she's blazing the trail for the future. And then she showed the belt up. And then Deanna Purrazzo said come and find her when she's had 3 reigns. Gail said Deanna could find her when she's had 7 reigns. And then Awesome Khan came out along with Rajid Sita, which is great. That was cool. She got a real big ovation. So this went to commercial. Like, this was a long segment. Like, this took up about, I want to say, close to 30 minutes. So this was very long. And I knew Impact was going to extend the episode anyway. So that does make sense. We were going to get an overrun, which we did, which was great. My girl, who we haven't seen in a while, and that is Tasha Steelz. I said last week I thought that Tasha Steelz may have left Impact because we haven't seen her in forever. Thankfully, she showed up here, so that was great. She got a really good ovation. That was great. So Tasha Steelz said, "You can't talk about history of the Knockouts division without her." She said, "All the talk didn't mean a thing without Generation Flavor." So she said she's going to be the 5th member of the Team Beautiful People, and she said they all wanted to be the best, but they can't be the greatest that beat the greatest. She said that next week she would be the greatest that beat the biggest and walked towards Awesome Kong. So out comes my girl, my second girl, that being Mickie James, who we haven't seen in a while. So Mickie got a massive pop. She made a return to Impact. Because she's been gone for months, just like Tasha Steelz as well. So Mickie says she doesn't have to remind people who she is and what she's done. So she thanked Tasha for coming out the greatest. She said Hardcore Country is back, and that she's the 5th member of Trinity's team, which she called Team Over. And then a Team Over chant breaks out. Mickie said next week next week will be the greatest fight in Knockouts history. So that was fine there. I enjoyed that, but it was a little bit too long. I'm glad to see Mickie James and Tasha Steelz back. That's great. That's great. I've always liked Tasha Steelz, and Mickie James has always been golden. So I'm glad that those two are back. But again, the problem is this was a little bit too long. This segment was way too long. This thing went on for damn near close to 30 minutes. I didn't like that. They could have shortened this by about maybe, 10 minutes. Like, this thing could have lasted at least a good, at best, 18, at least. And that's too long. But, again, Impact was able to do an overrun. So that does make sense. So, yeah. All right, moving on. So really good shit there. But again, this 10 knockout match doesn't really matter. Like, who gives a shit? Like, it's unimportant. Moving on. So, America's Most Wanted and Eric Young, they're talking about the 1000 episode in the dressing room. Santino Marella interrupted. Shark Boy dropped his beard to make the sound of glass breaking. And then he entered. So Santino asked Shark to become the deputy of authority. The deputy director of authority. So that was pretty cool. There, not really all that important. Who gives a shit? First match of the night, which is Feast or Fired. So we had 4 briefcases to hang. And 3 cases contain title shots. And then one's going to have a pink slip. So, they mentioned one is for the Impact Digital Media Championship. Then the other one is for the Impact World Tag Team Championships. And then the last one, I believe it's for the Impact World Heavyweight Championship, I think. I believe so. And number 4 is going to be the Fired. So, yeah, pink slip. So, this included Yuya Uemura, Joe Hendry, PCO, Kevin Knight, Kushida, Moose, Brian Myers, Crazy Steve, Black Truth, Johnny Swinger, Sami Callihan, Heath, Steve Macklin, ABC, which is Chris Bay and Ace Austin, The Good Hands, Jonathan Gresham, who we haven't seen in a minute. I think he was out with a groin infection, something. He had, something wrong with his groin. Jay Vidal, Laredo Kid, Bajinder Gujar. So, there was that. So, if you've seen One Feast and Fired match, you've seen them all. It's like a battle royal and all that jazz. So, Chris Bay, he got case number 3. So, Yuya, he got case number 4. Moose got another case. I think he got case 2, I guess, or something like that. And then Crazy Steve got one as well. So Moose gets one. So the winners of the match were Chris Bay, Crazy Steve, Yuya Uemura, and Moose. So that's fine there. Ace and Bay are probably going to get the tag title shot. Crazy Steve probably going to get the digital media title shot. He's not leaving. Moose probably going to get a world title shot, and Yuya is probably going to get fired. Again, Yuya has been on excursion for like the past 2 years, so he's not been signed with Impact at all. He's just been there for 2 years doing jack shit. So he's going to get fired. I mean, it's not really all that important. And then Rhino made his return, so there's that. But it doesn't really matter. I thought Rhino was gone. Oh, boy. Moving on. Gia Miller interviewed Chris Sabin. He said he didn't respect how Lio Rush does things. Chris Sabin said that he would beat Lio Rush and forge his legacy by being the first ever 10-time X Division champion. I was just like, oh my God, what the fuck? Oh my God. Oof. And Impact actually does it. We'll talk about that when we get to it. Moving on. So, Rohit Raju, he's back, which is great. He didn't do anything in AEW. He was gone for, a year and a half, 2 years. So, he's back. So, Rohit asked, how could you have a celebration without the Deadly Hit Squad? He said, name a tag team that's done more than them. And out comes Team 3D, which leads to a match. This is like a squash match. So, they do the What's Up spot. And then Team 3D does a 3D through the table for the 1, 2, 3. And then they also do a 3D through a table on Champagne Sing through the table. So that was great. So really cool stuff there. Team 3D is going to be with WWE now, which is great. So that does make perfect sense. Next. So Josh Alexander told the Rascalz to clean up the mess they made in the hallway. They confronted Alexander, and then he dipped out. So that's fine there. Moving on. So Josh Alexander walked to the ring. He got on the mic and talked about being the longest reigning Impact champion. He said sometimes he still has to pinch himself because he's been an Impact fan, like the crowd and the viewers. Fans chanted Impact Wrestling. So Josh Alexander said the 15-year-old version of himself wouldn't believe he was standing there celebrating Impact 1000. He said he never lost the Impact World title. So then Alex Shelley comes out. So Alex Shelley says he needs Josh Alexander to know that the title doesn't belong to him anymore. So Alex said if anyone would represent the company at Impact 1000, it would be him. He said, you're welcome. That he put in the hard work so that Josh Alexander could have a place to work, to make mortgage payments, and have a retirement fund. Really? Impact does that shit? For real? I doubt it. Josh Alexander said he was happy to see Alex Shelley win the belt. Alex Shelley asked if Josh Alexander was a fan of his or just a mark for him, which was great. I popped when he said that. Josh Alexander said that Alex Shelley had inspired a generation. Josh Alexander said Alex Shelley reminds him of the old adage, don't meet your heroes. So they continue to go back and forth. Alexander reminded Alex Shelley that he had beaten him. Alex Shelley said he's a different person now. Then he said that he's the main character and Alexander is the side quest. That was great. Alex Shelley said that he wanted the match so he could prove that he's the best. Josh Alexander said that he wanted the match. So then the Rascalz attacked him. And then Alex Shelley and Josh Alexander, they made a comeback. Then they had a stare down. The Rascalz attacked Alexander, and then Alex Shelley just left the ring and dipped out. And that was great. So that was really good shit there. I enjoyed that because the simple fact is, finally, Alex Shelley is a heel. They finally fully turned him heel, which I do like. So that does make perfect sense there. Makes perfect sense. Really good stuff. So, moving on. So, Shark Boy, he approached the Rascalz backstage. And Shark Boy said Trey would face Josh Alexander next week. The Rascalz walked off. Santino Marella walked in and shook hands with Shark. And then Kenny King and Sheldon Jean approached. Kenny King yelled at Santino and demanded a rematch with Tommy Dreamer and a match with Heath. Santino said that he could face Eric Young next week. I'm just like, oh my God, no. No, fuck this shit. No. No. Oh my God, no. Oof, enough. Moving on. A match I didn't care about, nor did I watch. That was Frankie Kazarian and Tracy Brooks versus Eddie Edwards and Alicia Edwards. Who cares? Tracy Brooks and Frankie Kazarian gets the win via the Fade to Black. Who gives a fuck? Post-match, Kazarian got on the mic and introduced a video package about Tracy Brooks with highlights of her career. At the end, the voiceover said she'll be inducted into the Impact Wrestling Hall of Fame. So Tracy cried, and then they celebrated with their son in the ring. Okay, cool. Who gives a shit? Moving on. So, Gia Miller interviewed Lio Rush, and Lio said that Chris Sabin is shook and scared. Lio said that he isn't worried about Chris Sabin, and he would give him a shot at greatness. He said that he was coming in hot. Okay, I'm fine with that. Moving on. So, we get a clip of Tommy Dreamer winning the Impact Wrestling Digital Media title at Victory Road. So Dreamer cut a backstage promo. He talked about creating moments. He thanked the fans, and he said that he would defend the title anywhere. He said that he would talk to Santino about a belt extender. Oh my God. Moving on. The main event of the evening. Chris Sabin versus Lio Rush for the X Division Championship. Very good match, but in the end, Impact Wrestling refuses to push new stars. Chris Sabin becomes a 10-time X Division champion. He wins via the shell shock into the cradle shock for the 1, 2, 3. And I'm just like, oh my God, Impact Wrestling is so dumb. They are so fucking stupid. They constantly love their nostalgia way too much. Way too much. Post-match, the locker room come out to celebrate with Chris Sabin. They put him on their shoulders, and we go off the air. And I'm just like, once again, Impact Wrestling refuses to build new stars. It makes zero sense. It makes zero sense. Now, I assume that they're probably going to do a rematch at Bound for Glory, where Lio's going to win it back, and then Lio will probably cash in option C, and he'll probably end up beating Josh Alexander, who's going to defeat Alex Shelley anyway. So that's what I hope happens at Bound for Glory. But the problem with Impact is they constantly focus way too much on their past, and they're not focused on their future at all. They're not. They are not. But it is what it is. But overall, the show itself was okay. The Feast or Fire stuff is interesting, but we all know that Yuya is going to get fired next week, so that's common sense there. But everything else on the show was okay. The stuff with the knockouts was a little bit too much for me as well. That lasted about close to 30 minutes. I didn't like that. They could have easily trimmed off about 15 minutes of that at least. But it is what it is. But what did you guys think? Please hit the like button, comment down below, and subscribe for more videos. I'll catch you guys later. Peace.